County and witness the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They
met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want... Listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk. You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty. It's not over. It's not over. God does not lose.
It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me. Jay Black, Sexy Mo, C.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in this gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight. All right, y'all. For those who are trying to figure out what I just played, that was Tory Lanez's father after the first court case when obviously Tory got that sentence. He's been stabbed 14 times, but you know what it is. It's Friday. I'm under the weather, but I'm still here. You know how we get that. Yeah, man, we got everything going on.
What up, Cypher's up early.
We got some chips in your brain that they're trying to put in prisoners. I told you, I tried to tell you they're going for our brain next. We got Jay-Z and Diddy in compromising situations. We got a whole bunch of, we got Trump and Hillary Clinton showing how crooked they really are. Got a comedy show to promote that's going down tomorrow night. We got Dr. Arron Smith in the building. Whole bunch of stuff. And let me tell you something. I was so close to calling out the day.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
I was so close to call it out. I was like, I don't know. I'm about to hit Jay Black, but then I remembered.
It's a gabillion good coochies out here. If your man gives you a...
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
Ever my heterosexual man, when you feel bad, when you feel lonely and you're single and you feel depressed and that clouds over your head, always remember.
It's a gabillion good coochies out here. If
you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
Yes, man. Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning,
Said
ladies.
the video that Mike played, he hope he didn't offend legs. I don't know what Mike, I missed it, but I don't know.
Easy, relax. What are you talking? He was talking about
Morning,
Jay-Z
Jeanette.
and Rock Nation. He was talking about everything like that. Take it
saw
easy.
Ash.
You know,
LaShawn, what up, LaShawn? She said present.
President LaShawn Lavalatra, and I was just typing to you, and no, please, that didn't offend me. I wasn't the one who said it or have ever thought the word or said it, but thank you, sir, for your consideration. I don't know what video. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know.
They be having their own conversations.
Oh
Miss
my
Clark
God.
said present, and she's still single. She said, I'm out here ready to mingle.
Still thirst trapped. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, Miss Clark. You out in these streets just like me. You out in these streets just like me. Good morning, Miss Parker. The Knicks need that win tonight. Is it tonight? You sure it's tonight?
2 days. Ain't every other day?
Oh, yeah. My days is all blurring. Yeah, it is tonight.
Nikki.
See if they don't try and rob us. They might win 7 games. Let's see if Jaylen Brown doesn't get like 7 fouls in one quarter. Maybe he'll get 8 fouls in one quarter. Who knows? Who knows what they're trying? Nikki White Chocolate. We know how you're watching, Nikki.
Shelly. Good morning, Shelly. Mortine. Queen Born is up early, Mike. Queen Born.
Nah, come get this. Queen Born, come get that.
Round table next Thursday, Queen Born. Queen Born, she popped on once before. She popped on. She did.
Round table.
Thursday. We gotta get the questions together. We gotta get the guest list together. I'm looking forward to the viewer.
I'm glad you keep saying we. I'm glad you keep saying we. I'm glad you keep saying we. That's good. I like that. I like that we shit. I like that.
I was saying you yesterday. I was like, Mike is working on the questions.
I like that. I like that we.
Afro Queen, what up, DC? What up, DMV? DC, Baltimore, Maryland.
Afro Queen is a potential show that I might be out in the DMV. There's a potential show. I got a feeler. Pause, I guess, but I got a feeler. Somebody reached out to me, seeing my availability, and see if I could go out there. So I would love to see you if I'm near your area, because I act like the DMV is 1 block. All right, Shelly, good morning. My boo, come get some of this. Oh, you know what? That's my boo. She needs something different.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
She was more your boo when she said she had 0 credit card debt yesterday. Michael's like, "Ooh, that turned Mike on." He was like, 0 credit card debt?
0 credit card debt? And I'm at 0 now, too? Yeah, Jeanette, what's up?
Out in the hills, the mountains. What up, Jeanette?
I got a sore throat. My nose is running. I feel hot right now. Blessed and difficult. A blessed difficult day. Happy 27th birthday. Blessing to my daughter and prayers for my family. We have to say goodbye to our monarch we love and our family. Everybody, you already know, Asha, we got you. All our prayers go out to
life,
you.
Life and facts.
Peacefully. Yeah, life don't care. The clip from yesterday, mine with the driver. Oh, the clip from yesterday. That was
with the driver with the N-word.
Yeah. D Morris is consistent. D Morris.
He's back next Thursday. D did you inbox Mike D Morris so we can get your email? We want to officially get you the link, get you this invite for next Thursday roundtable. Make sure he ain't BSing. See if he really down.
Let's see if D Morris
did click the link the other day. He did click the link.
Yeah, good morning, Mike and Jay. Prayers, Mike, that you feel. Thank you. Don't worry about me, boo. It's all about you and your family. So it's all about, I just got the little something. I've been trying to dodge people at work and people wearing masks. And I appreciate the fact that people wear masks.
Wearing masks? They still doing the mask?
No, when they get sick, they wear masks. When they get sick. And it makes sense. I just feel crazy wearing a mask just because it's uncomfortable. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
What up to
Sean D. Morris. Mike, I'll open up for you. Okay.
Okay, he do comedy?
You in East Texas. I'm going to be in somewhere in Dallas, outside of Dallas, Juneteenth. So I'm going to be out there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I assume.
Afro Queen says she there. If you come to the DMV, it's a done deal. She was coming out to support.
All right, Afro Queen, let's go. Tawana,
morning, colorism. Tawana, always repping the colorism. Don't want no light skin, dark skin conversations.
Yeah, Tawana, you almost lost us. You almost lost us a valuable VIP supporter for your colorism. For all your colorism.
I told Lady Key yesterday, I said Mike thought she was white, half white all these years. She can't believe it. She had to go back and watch the show over yesterday. I said, that's what he said. He was like, but she half white. I was like,
No, the whole concept was that people, if you look at it from a distance, the way you look at people from a distance, you claim you judge people from a distance without knowing the situation. That was
I
the
can
whole
look
point.
and tell if you mixed, if
You
you biracial.
cannot. If you didn't know Lady Q, you would think she was mixed.
I would not. I would know that
She was mixed when you met her.
No, I knew she was just light bright and I knew
You
it.
thought she was mixed when you met her.
No. Good morning, Stacey Mitchell. Good morning.
You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. I still wear masks in public places.
Masks in public places.
Only when I'm sick. Not when you wearing that profile pic. Where's the mask in that profile pic? That was out in the streets. That was outside. That was outside somewhere. That's the third stripe. I ain't gonna lie. I'll clap it up for that. Love and prayers. Yes, absolutely. 100% Sean Oil. I'm thinking, am I supposed to really get that? Is that really work?
You know, is that oregano? That's what she
said.
This is
great. I got it in my cart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I got in my cart? The chicken shredder. I put the chicken shredder in my cart.
She said, "How did I almost lose a viewer for you?"
No, you seem like you were upset about the colorism when Jay Black. You know Jay Black being the color.
Oh no, I can't be.
I know if you black by seeing you. I can just see you and I can tell if you're black. I can tell Patrick Mahomes ain't all black.
I can tell if you got a quarter white. You know, you half white.
Patrick Mahomes is the same complexion as Lady Q. They the same skin complexion. That was my whole point. Oil of oregano works. Okay, so I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna get it.
Black seed as well.
I'm gonna put it's in my cart right now. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get that. That's an old birthday pic. Yeah, and that birthday pic was no mask on it, wasn't now? There was people at that party. There was people there at the party. Thank you for all your kind words and prayers. We definitely need them, and you will always get them. Everybody here to Take Over Legends, you're going through something, please let us know. I believe in prayer. I believe the prayer warriors kick in, and I believe no matter how much we may disagree and go at each other, that when we all put that in the universe, it can change. It can change everything. How was your night last night, Jay?
Night was good night. Last night was what was last night? Watched some videos. What did I do? I didn't do anything special. I stayed home. I didn't work. I worked from home. I was just chilling. Lady Q ran to the store a couple times. Yeah, it wasn't nothing special yesterday. Everything was a good day. It was a good day yesterday.
Yeah, that back and forth to the store sucks.
Dog, she go back and I don't understand how many times she go back and forth to the Dollar Tree, to the supermarket, back to this the other supermarket, Giant. Got to go to this supermarket to get this. Why just go to one shop right to get it all? Why I gotta go Giant to get this? I got to shop right to go get this.
They got different prices.
I don't be understanding.
They got different prices. Oh, I'm never mad at Jay Black Mike, but the skin looks different sometimes. Not just between people of various backgrounds, but I am going to the end. I'm going to end this here. On to the fun. I don't know if there's going to be any fun stuff today, Tawana.
We got Dr. Smith. It always get hit. Well, that's why we need to switch his day, because he go deep, and I want to talk to him about black fatigue. I keep seeing Lady Q arguing with people about black fatigue. I want to understand what this black fatigue stuff is all about.
Shit, we got black fatigue. We got not being white fatigue. Jay Black, you thought I was Puerto Rican, not black. Ooh.
But I knew you were mixed with something, Nikki. Some of your photos, I said she's something. I knew you was 100% of one or the other. I was about to say.
No, that's like how you do. And then you try and flip it. You did exactly what you claim I was doing. It was a whole nice experiment for real. I'm only good for going to one store. 2 stores and stretching it. I only go to 2 stores.
Yeah, and we go to grab what we need, D. Morris. We don't go there. I want to walk around and look at stuff, and then we want to go to Ollie's. They can't go to Ollie's. No, they didn't even walk around. No, what are we going to?
In her defense, is the only time she gets out the goddamn house. She gets to be a person.
She do get out.
She get to be she only get to go out when y'all go out.
We went to Coco's birthday party.
Yes, when y'all go out. So she get to be a human adult.
We had a date night. We had a whole weekend to where the hotel. We did the whole happy hour drinks. And then we went to get the dinner, and then we hung out.
With you. She gets to see other human beings. She gets to be around society and other human beings. Sales at different stores. So she gets to talk to the person at the register and be like, oh, hey, you got any of these going to be on sale? Yeah, they're going to be on sale. You know, the tariffs are coming in. But, the tariffs are going to change things. Yeah, black fatigue is a bunch of BS.
I don't know what the back. I just know that Lady Q got this book that she ordered.
Everybody got fatigue, y'all. Like, I mean, I know y'all don't like it, but everybody got fatigue. Everybody got fatigue over
I
something.
think she was saying it's like for the white people are saying they got black fatigue or tired of hearing about black folk problems. I think that's what the narrative is. I think.
So what would you be shocked about? Why would that offend anybody?
What, that white people are tired of hearing about black people's problems?
Why would you think differently? Why do we want people to be something other than human? We know. You don't think they get sick of seeing it?
But do they have the right to get sick?
I don't care about the right. You can't stop somebody from feeling something.
So wait, you team YT? Okay, keep going.
I'm sick of white privilege. Are you sick of? Are you fatigued with white privilege? Yes, we all are. So this whole, like, I don't even understand what the hell we thought. Black fatigue is being tired of having to explain ourselves to others and be the good and honorable ones, with no one else has to do any of this. We are always
so it's on us. So we're the ones tired of being able. See, I don't know if it's the white people tired of hearing they call it black fatigue is on our side.
White people amongst themselves don't go, ain't you tired of this shit every time we turn the TV on and get on social media? You really think they don't say that?
But ain't we tired as a culture of having to deal with the shit every time you turn on TV? That's the stuff we're dealing with. So the profiling, the targeting us.
Yes. I need to meet Lady Q. I like her perspective.
We did a show together, me and her, when Mike left me stranded one time, and people really took well to it.
They took well, but they want to be they whole authentic selves. They was a they
was right there. They go to white girl right there. They might call a white girl.
Black fatigue to rebrand their racism. Yeah.
Or colonized. Okay, black fatigue. All right. But Mike thought you was half white, Lady Q. He just thought you was half white.
I thought you was half white because
all these years. We've been friends for how many years now? Wait, me and Lady Q,
I don't even know where you live at. I don't even know where you live at. So how would I know? Shut the fuck up. Like, you want to play today? How would I know? You're the biggest hypocrite.
When we first met, you went out to dinner with us. We all did the double dating thing several times. She been to your house. She been to your house both of the times.
We don't know any pictures. We wouldn't know because we don't see any pictures.
I got pictures of all of us. Me, you, her, and Stacy.
No, at your house. We don't see no pictures at the house. It's the back cave. That's the correct stance, Tawana. People of other races want us to suffer quietly. I agree with everything, but I'm not. Y'all not gonna spark me into getting mad if white people say they got black fatigue. I get it.
Well, I was gonna ask Dr. Smith about it. I wanted his perspective on this whole black fatigue, because I see her arguing with people online all the time about black fatigue and this and that, and I'd be like, well, I didn't get it. So that's what I was wondering. But yeah, what Nikki say?
My white suburban is tired of white privilege. Yeah. We all got fatigue, and that's the way they want us, so we can't focus. So let me tell you about the hypocrisy. When I tell y'all,
the biggest.
So let me make sure. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So Donald Trump is getting the I laughed so hard when Mr. told me he thought I was half white. I thought you were mixed. I didn't say half white. That's his. You know, that's his lingo. That's his talk. That's his talk. That's not my talk. I never say that. That ain't even in my terminology. Half white. The last picture of you at our house was when the twins were 3. Exactly.
Oh, so you did come to the crib. Oh, that was when we was in Willenboro. That was when we was in Willenboro.
Thank you, Lady Q. Thank you, Lady Q. Thank you. Thank you. He's a very distant person. No, Michael, they can't be fatigued. They're entitled. Tawana, you can't tell somebody who can be fatigued.
Let's talk when Dr. Smith get on. Let Mike be that.
You can't tell somebody. See, this is the thing. We want to do what they do to us. And I get it. But y'all can't make a human being say, oh, you're entitled, not fatigued. You can't make somebody feel something because you feel that they should. That's half the problem. People just don't want to deal with the reality of the reality.
They can't be fatigued. They are entitled.
You can't tell somebody what they can and cannot do or be or feel. You can't tell somebody they winning when they living in a trailer park.
You know,
as much as y'all can't tell somebody they winning when they ain't got no running water. They are once again proving they don't have an original thought of their own. Yes, I can't argue with that. Yes, you can't. So Qatar. I guess Qatar is the country.
What the fuck they tired
Qatar is the country.
You done got ash cussing. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, you can, because what the fuck they tired of? You can't tell. You don't know.
You don't know what they tired of. You don't know. Now, do you have to care? No, you shouldn't care. But y'all keep telling me not to allow things to trigger us, not to fall for the bait. If they fatigued, so what? So what? They fatigued. And I'm just saying the bottom line of it is people want people to be like, you're not fatigued. You are not. Who the fuck? How is that possible to convince somebody of that? You're banging your head against the wall that you can't break. There's certain people who think baby fathers ain't shit. No matter how much I explain to them that there are tons of great fathers, they're not going to change so why? That's how they feel. That's their experience. This is a class issue. It coincides with race, but it's different. And it's a whole spider web of things. If they are fatigued, they need to stop upholding white supremacy. Listen, I don't disagree with you. Back to the point, and I'm trying to learn this, and somebody was trying to teach me this. The point is, we can't tell somebody or give a damn about what they feel, and how they feel about something shouldn't trigger us. That's how you feel? Cool. Don't care. Black fatigue refers to the state of chronic exhaustion and emotional distress experienced by Black individuals as a result of systematic racism and racial discrimination.
Thanks for the research department.
Go ahead,
I love it.
Go ahead, Trendsetter. Make it happen, Trendsetter.
I love it.
They aren't tired of racism. They're tired of hearing about it. And they got a lot of nerve. Whatever they're tired of. Whatever y'all want to break down.
But that is a lot of nerve to say, though, right? Like y'all ancestors did, like, to say you tired of it. That is a little crazy, though, right? To tell how you can't suppress or tell me how and when I should feel a certain way and when I should move on, when I should not, when I should embrace it. Like, you're trying to control every narrative. Like, that is a little bit crazy.
Okay. I'm going to let y'all waste your breath on trying to convince somebody what they're feeling and how they should feel it. It don't matter how they feel. It matters on what happens. What's the outcome? Why do y'all get so tight on? That's the thing. We're always so concerned about their thoughts and opinions. Fuck them. And listen, I don't mean all of them.
Your Bernie Mac voice. Fuck them.
And I don't mean everybody, but like Muhammad Ali said, if there's 5,000 snakes coming towards me, and I know 500 of those snakes mean me no harm, am I supposed to walk around these snakes anyway? How am I supposed to figure out? They would never say they are fatigued over hearing about the Holocaust. No, they wouldn't. I don't think they would. I think there are a lot of Nazi haters in this country who would. There's hate in this country boiling to a point that is being so uncovered and shown to everybody. And it's been there. Yes, you currently can't control what a person feels, but it's whether you invest your time in caring about it. Thank you, boo. And that's why we will hold hands and take long walks in the park.
But you can't ignore it too, right?
No, you just gotta deal with the outcome on how we're gonna combat that. We aren't concerned. We are pissed, and they need to be called out for every single time. We've been trying. Will, God bless. We better start calling ourselves out and start getting our communities together. But Mike, today you are missing the point. Jay said Lady Q has a book about Black fatigue, the topic, and you're missing the point because Jay gave his interpretation of what Black fatigue was.
No, I said I didn't know. I wanted to ask Dr. Smith. And He's the one with all the degrees.
But you gave what your first thought was.
Because that's what I thought it was. They were trying to say, but I wasn't sure.
And I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm trying to explain it to Tawana, who's trying to tell me I'm missing. I'm trying to tell Tawana you're missing the point because we were talking about what Jay said. So run the whole tape. Yeah, I'm cranky. Whoever wanted to get
all that smoke today. He just went. What up, Action? Good morning, Action.
I'm Team Mike on this one. Don't care what they think. You never liked us. You never will. The question should be, why do we keep looking for the approval and don't need it? And they get us every time. They got ways, you know. We still want our faces represented in Hollywood.
Are we really looking for the approval? Or are we looking to be treated fairly? To have the same options in life, the same everything should be by. Are we looking to be not declined from this loan? Are we looking to just leave us the F alone type? Like, I don't know. What are we really looking for when we say seeking approval? I don't know. Are we seeking the white woman?
I think you're right, but sneaky in their sneaky ways, they get us. But you're right. What you're saying is right. But just with the Hollywood thing, we always say we want more faces represented in Hollywood. Why would we want Hollywood to have our faces represented when we know the demons they are? Why would we make a deal about winning one of their fucking Oscars?
Because we also know that the money comes along with it. We know that it inspires the next youth. That little Michael Sean, that little Puerto Rican little boy.
Tyler Perry making plenty of money. Tyler Perry making plenty of money.
But is he in the like we want the Marvel money? We want them to see that it's possible.
How much money do you want? How much money do you want when what Tyler Perry has?
The chicken circlet or the little low budgets and I think we want the mainstream, right? Why can't we?
And who's the mainstream that we're talking? Because we'll have stars that got us, but we'll make a big deal when they get everybody.
It's usually one or two of us that is up at a time. Remember, it was the Denzel Wesley Snipe era. Now there's the Michael B. Jordan. Like it's always like we got a couple people at a time.
Wait, what era? What era are we talking about? What era? What makes the era? What makes the era? They put us up. We've been had actors. We've been had actors.
The Sidney Poitiers.
Yeah.
We had one or two, and they got what? I don't know.
We've been had Bernie Mac.
This ain't my lane. I'm not that.
Anyway, Qatar was the place that the country or whatever.
Oh, the plane, right? Just giving Trump.
That was giving the plane and also giving the golf course to Donald Trump, and there are billions and billions of dollars, and it's illegal that he's taking gifts, and it's illegal. Just to show you the hypocrisy, just to give you a flashback of the hypocrisy. Qatar is the main thing that we're saying Donald Trump is breaking laws, and he is. Just to show you the contradiction of this is a debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Boy, I have to go to work. Keep me typing, laugh aloud. You cranky. You run the taste. Jay was asking about black fatigue. You said white people say they have fatigue, right? Because that's what Jay Black made a comment, and that's what I ran with. The Marvel money doesn't flow to us. All right, listen. Don't stop.
Right,
Don't put no more comments up.
It's the last one. Right. All right, last one.
Remember, you ended at action. So the hypocrisy is we're talking about Qatar giving planes and they're basically the country's up for sale. We know it is. Trump is wrong. I just want to show you this clip from the debate that they had, him and Hillary, and watch what he's saying to Hillary. Just watch what he's saying to Hillary right here.
Libya giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. You talk about women and women's rights. So these are people that push gays off buildings. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money. So I'd like to ask you right now, why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly? Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture. Saudi Arabia.
So now, in the first election, he was criticizing Hillary for taking money from Qatar. And he had the nerve to act like he was offended about them pushing gays out off of roofs, which is hilarious because we know what his stances are and all that. But this is what I mean about the bizarreness of the crookedness of this government. They're both taking money from these people. They're both. Both of them, both parties have. This is what I mean about the bizarreness of what we're watching. Everything is fucked up. And I know we got to stand on getting this man out the White House and his whole administration. Because the bizarre shit just don't stop. Let's bring Dr. Arron Smith in here.
Got the drop for him.
Go ahead, please.
Trendsetter got a produced drop for him. Here we go.
Protected by the red, the black, and the green.
Put your hands in the air! Make some noise!
Time to get your knowledge up and get ready to write down some facts with Dr. Arron Smith.
Heed the words of the brother, Sissy.
Yes. He's in the building.
Heed the words, the red, the black, the green. He missed all the conversation about black fatigue, but we're going to bring it back because he's here.
So we'll get to that. I'm just kidding. Wait,
Yeah,
no, I think he saw some of it. I think he saw it.
Coming in, Mike.
Everybody can come get it. Everybody can come get it. Everybody. I'm in that mood. It's early in the morning. I don't feel good. So if y'all want it, let's get it.
Shit, if they giving me money, I'm gonna take it. Run their pockets. All right, so you get the question because I'm you talk about fatigue. I got fatigue today, so go ahead.
Earlier, so Dr. Smith, my wife,
I got on my Umar Johnson.
And
Okay.
she's excited about this book. Oh, Umar. Excited about this book, and I didn't know what it was about. It was about black fatigue, and I'm like, okay, what is the black fatigue? Is the white people tired of hearing about us? Are we tired of talking about it as the black culture and the people? I don't know what black fatigue is. And then Mike tried to defend white people, and then they started coming at Mike on the show here. So
Can
Mike,
please, no, we're not gonna do this.
That's
no. We're not gonna be the fucking Breakfast Club. We're not gonna be the rest of these shows. Wasn't nobody defending nothing. I was saying, why are we so concerned if they are fatigued? Who cares? Who cares? Stop getting all tight in the shoulders because a white person might say they got black fatigue, if that's what they were talking about. Stop being so concerned about how they feel and start being worried about the outcome in our direction and our journey. Who cares? If y'all really think white people don't sit by themselves in their groups and saying they so sick and tired of hearing about black and brown people, of course they do. So what y'all go like, oh my God, I can't believe they say shit like that. That is just, it is, we know. So what else is new? What else is new? Get out your fucking feelings and understand what this country is really about. Stop giving me these long scenarios and these long paragraphs. No, Michael, they can't be fatigued. They're entitled. You, great, but you can't convince somebody of that. We spent hundreds of years trying to convince them of that. They don't give a fuck that we think they're entitled. Do you understand that? They don't care. If they're fatigued and they need to stop upholding white supremacy, fine. Have they? Have they? Let me ask you something. Have they?
See, Dr. Smith agreed with that.
No, that was a good conversation.
Let me get you. And doctor, this has no disrespect to you. No disrespect.
No worries.
You know how much I respect your intellect. He's not my leader.
That's very true.
No, people respect what he says.
I understand, Jay Black. You get the dick riding. He's not my leader.
I'm just saying. No, we've been all
no. Let's be clear. When you tell me, Dr. Smith even nodded. Who the fuck cares? I'm a grown ass 54-year-old man. I respect Dr. Smith. I went to his lecture. I know Dr. Smith's intellect. I know how amazing this man is. But if you think I'm ever going to put somebody on a pedestal ever in my life,
who said
people disagree?
I'm trying to understand a different perspective, and I like when people agree.
You sound like the guy to fight. You ain't gonna fight him. You're not gonna go at him.
Go for it.
He said, "Best man hit my hand." That's the old school. Best man hit my hand.
Oh God. That's what he said, Monty. Oh, Monty liked that part. No, stop.
No, Monty, you open. You let me bring you in here as the official flaming head, gay guy at the job.
Who's
Mike needs a damn nap. Go to bed. No, I don't. I'm staying. I'm wide awake, sacrificing. That's why them ties better come in because I come up here for free.
What is black fatigue? Please break this down for us.
If you know, because we
people have been talking about it for a long time. Maybe it's not completely new. And well, I'll do that first. So Mary Frances Winter, she talks about the strain, right? The drain, mental, physical, emotional, right? How it erodes, your well-being, and it works over time. When people talk about epigenetics, generational trauma, how these things become encoded in your DNA structures. And people can look just like they look at rings on a tree. Like when people are smokers, they can look at your lungs and see what you've done. They can look at your brain. They can see how much stress you've been under and what you've died from sometimes just by looking at a brain. They can look at these things and see how you've managed stress, what you've experienced, what kind of traumas you've been holding on to. And people are saying that when you go through this generation after generation, especially with public lynchings and buck breaking and castrations and mutations and people being chained to poles overnight, right? And whipped at the stop, like people seeing this and going through this and being afraid to leave their porch to the point that they're called porch monkeys because they can't go across the tracks or like over time there's a fear, there's a trauma, there's sexual violence. There was, they were what do they call them? Not just breeding farms, there were also sex farms where there would often be children in the sex farm. So whether it's making shoes out of the skin of black people, stringing them up and cutting them up and burning them up and making postcards out of them, over time, just the little things like your house being valued $100,000 to $200,000 less, like a black couple recently reported because when they tried to sell it, they were black. Like having your name on a resume. So you have black people right now who don't want to give their children names according to their culture because they want them to have a chance in a white supremacist system. There's just a little micro things that just go into this drain where you just wake up in the morning just like, oh, these damn devils, right? So I think that seeing the natural progression of people wanting to appropriate that, I agree with Mike where he said it shouldn't be a surprise though. That's why I always say, Neely Fuller Jr., if you don't understand white supremacy is a global system, everything else you think you understand will only confuse you. If you wake up in the morning and you're stressed because white people are trying to steal something black people innovated and originated, then you got to catch up. They're going to do that. That's going to happen. When you see black people having fun, like sinners at a cookout, a juke joint, when we're having a good time, when we're making stuff, it's TikTok. It's a countdown. They're coming.
And
take
Arron,
it and rearrange it and use it against us usually.
And Dr. Arron, thank you for explaining it. And Tawana, I was trying to explain to you that Jay was the one who let us down have people being fatigued. Jay is the one, his comments, and that's where my comments came up, where Jay was like, white people have black fatigue. That was the point. He started this. Now that Dr. Arron has made it that it has nothing to do with white people, then all the stuff we were talking about was based on Jay's comments. It's irrelevant now. But that's what I was trying to tell you. I didn't miss the point. I was replying to Jay. They are once again proving they don't have
original thought. That's basically what he was just saying. They don't have original thought of their own.
But even her comments was based on the subject that we were talking about, white people having fatigue. That's not what
definitions, right?
That's not what the book was about.
And ironically, that's a major problem with appropriation because, like DE&I, it immediately muddies the water, confuses the issues, and often causes dissension among parties that otherwise would agree for the most part on the concept. So once white people start appropriating and twisting it, it adds a dimension of discord, right? Where people are like, it happens all the time. We end up going at each other because like now they peed in the pool per se, or something else in the pool, right? Now we all got to get out the pool and blame people like we were just swimming, right? So I think that's one of the problems where I agree with Mike completely. Like we can't be centering whiteness and giving them all this attention, all this, and we need to expect this kind of appropriation and these kind of attacks. But at the same time, I also understand some of the comments where it's like there's a power dynamic where I can personally, like I always say, individual institutions, I can personally not care what white people do, but then there's always this overarching systemic reality where it's like it does affect me. So personally, on a day-to-day, emotionally, I can have an inoculation through my expectation and my intellect, but then there's the realization institutionally where it's like these white folks being crazy has never just been that when it comes to Black America. When they catch a cold, we catch the flu, and when they start acting crazy, we often die and get sick, and more people died from diseases than the gun. So we've always been like cautiously monitoring just how crazy white people get, because we know that in the end, if somebody does get negatively affected, it'll be disproportionately Black and brown people.
All right, let me read Lady Q, because when Jay Black leaves a comment up there, he wants me to read it. That's why he brought up the topic, because white folks are taking a term and using it incorrectly. And he was saying what white folks are fatigued of. So that's how the conversation sparked. I think that's simple. All right, so let me get, because we play videos here and you're not here. So I just want to get you. So Snoop Dogg was on the Breakfast Club. Uncle Snoop. And he basically tried to explain himself for what he did. And I'm just gonna see if I got it. And you tell me what you think about the explanation that he gave on the Breakfast Club and the justification that he gave. And you tell me how you feel about it.
Opinions on when you did the crypto ball. Mm-hmm. Does that bother you?
No, I call it 30 for 30. And let me explain that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I DJ'd at the crypto ball for 30 minutes. Made a whole bunch of money, made a lot of relationships to help out the inner city and the community and teach financial literacy and crypto in a space that it don't exist. That's 30 minutes. 30 years, Snoop Dogg been doing great things for the community, building, showing up, standing up for the people, making it happen, being all I can be. So which one is it? 30 for 30. 30 minutes or 30 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it a crime?
Nope.
I hated that, man. I ain't gonna lie. I hated how they came at you.
And I love how my people defended me.
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't give y'all no ammunition, meaning that I never said nothing. So it was kind of becoming like, damn, man, y'all keep riding on dog, and man, I ain't finna have that. Y'all can't. But damn, he ain't said nothing. So it was like, I can't fight for another man that ain't gonna fight for itself. So tomorrow, is it a crime? I'm fighting.
All right, there's more to it, but go ahead. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think both could be true. We could be like, yo, that was a totally whack move. And we can also be like, you know, Snoop has done a lot over his career and shouldn't be judged by 30 minutes and one decision. Yeah, I think, both. I think both are true. I think people can still feel like that was a totally whack move and still agree that it doesn't define him, you know.
So my question is, would somebody of the Jewish descent, a celebrity, have taken part if they knew Project 2025 was all based on taking the rights and deportation of Jewish people? Would anybody have taken that 30 minutes out and supported that?
Well, you said if they knew, that's the difference. I think, people effing around and finding out because they didn't know. You know, they deluded themselves.
He knew about Project 25.
No, I'm saying
that was after the election.
They knew it existed. They knew, just like these white, as a lot Cubans, white people, everybody knew it existed. But most people, I would agree, when they do say, I didn't think he was going to do it. They didn't. They didn't think they were going to lose their farms and lose their jobs and get deported, or they wouldn't have voted for him. So I can't say if they knew, because I don't think a lot of these people knew. I think they're finding out. I think they effed around and are finding out. And people were telling them, people were showing them, people were saying, this is Project 2025. You got to beware. You know what people were saying? Won't affect us. Probably just black people. Probably just the criminals, not us good Cubans. And like, that's what people were saying in their interviews.
Did he know about the Central Park 5?
Yeah.
All right.
But like he just said, 20
Did he know about
years
the
ago,
felonies? He knew about the felonies.
He was on a murder trial. He's a bad person to say this to because he has all this stuff in his history. If you want Snoop Dogg, these would be great points. But he's the guy who was on trial for murder. He's the one, like, Snoop Dogg has the same things in his history where it's like, you're a gang-banging drug dealer on trial for murder, but your larger arc of your contributions has been positive. So if anybody's going to take that position and have credibility, it's somebody like Snoop, who has done all these terrible things, who has been a terrible person, but in totality, is he more positive than negative? So I could see Snoop looking at it in the mirror being like, I can't play the felony card. I can't play the criminal card. I would hate for people to cancel me.
Do you think that makes it easier for them to take us less serious when they know they can buy us? Because his first part of the answer was, they paid me a lot of money.
That makes a big difference. But everybody makes these compromises every day. How much money am I going to get? How much compromise am I going to be asked to make? I was offered a settlement. I didn't take it. And I did like this. Now, if my settlement, that was 6 figures. If my settlement was 7 figures, there might have been a legitimate justification to not talk about an issue because of the good I could have done for my family and my community. It's always like that, especially in the system of white supremacy, especially when dealing with politics. It makes strange bedfellows. People go across the aisle. They say, I'll vote for this bill, but you got to take that out, or you got to put that in. That's just what politics is always about. Give and take, who gets what. And a lot of people who are outside of politics don't want to look at it like that and look at the pragmatic compromises people make every day. Even when it comes to things like healthcare and drug treatment, they do that. They sit and they say, you give me this, I'll give you that. If you don't give me this, I won't give you that. And people are like, well, how can you help people's lives?
So I have a question.
Somebody got to eat. Somebody's not going to eat.
He just did this interview last week. So he now knows what Trump's about. He knows what this administration is about. And he never came on and said, I was wrong for doing it. I should not have supported this. This is the problem I have with the lightweight interview that the Breakfast Club did.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trump either, but I think when a lot of people were saying this was, I don't agree. They were saying this was the crypto ball. This wasn't a Trump campaign event saying vote for Donald Trump. It wasn't a partisan event. There were a lot. I do work in the crypto space a lot. A lot of Democrats. A lot of people who don't like Trump were at that ball. Like, let's not just make this like a Trump rally. A lot of people are advocating for cryptocurrency, don't like what the SEC is doing. maybe want the Federal Reserve to be more progressive. They were at that ball lobbying, making connections, didn't care anything about who threw it or who booked it or who was trying to use it for campaign. You're using it for a campaign thing. I'm using it to push legislation on crypto. They were in that building also. And I don't want to write all this. There's a large community. It's a diverse community, not a monolith that was in that room, because a lot of people were focused on crypto far more than focused on politics or Donald Trump. They're focused on politics and finance. So I can't just be like, yeah, if you're in that building, you're just like this. Like, yeah.
Well, he doubled down. Maybe I should have played. He also doubled down if he chose to hang with Trump. That's his, because he's not.
And Snoop ain't a positive rapper. Like, people, like, as a hip hop, me and you can have a hip hop conversation, be like, yo, from NWA to Doggy Style to Murder Was a Case. Like, he talked to the devil and made a deal, right? Like, yo, Snoop, I just don't think Snoop is the guy. If we're talking about almost any other person, I would have a more nuanced perspective on everything that you're talking about. But every time you're saying this, I'm thinking, but Snoop. It's always an asterisk in the back of my mind, like, don't jump out and defend Snoop either.
But this is my thing, and this is. I'm glad you brought that up. And
yeah, they might deserve each other, Mike. When I think about it, if there's a rapper who belongs over there with them, making justifications and talking about look at my whole life and not the worst things, he is that guy. He's the Trump. He's the guy. There might be one or two others, but he's one of them. He's one of them ones.
I was just about to say, when you say, look at the totality of my life and what I've done for the community, and you were the one who showed us the video of pouring 40 ounces of beer on women, and you were the one who helped the pipeline.
He gonna say Dre did that. He gonna say that was Dre.
Oh, he gonna say Dre did it. Yeah, yeah.
In the video,
and you helped the pipeline of from the hood to the music business to prison. When you helped that. So if you really want us to look at your 30 years, if you really want to look at it, it wasn't 30 minutes. It wasn't.
Well, he gonna say it's Pee Wee League. You know, he did football. He did football program.
Yeah, he does Pee Wee League. Yeah,
focus on all that.
Yeah, he'll focus on that. He'll focus on that.
Something I picked up on that he said that you said, Dr. Smith, was you turned down a 6-figure settlement over your morals, but 7 figures would have justified it. Like you really
not the morals. It was just what would I be giving up? They were asking for an NDA to not participate, non-disparagement, to not participate in any future class action. And I think for me, it was mostly, wait, why won't I participate in a future class action? Because if I'm going to get paid, I will at least want to help other people get paid if they were done wrong, if that's something that would make them whole, right? Now, in terms of me not talking, I'm an academic. You're saying I can't write a book about my life and include that chapter? I was here for a decade. But what kind of impact would I make with the book? What would it mean for me therapeutically and to instruct other people? If I can get a whole program up and running to assist young Black academics going into college, because I have the money to have all the voice in my own venue and I don't take any government funding, and well, then you know what? I won't tell that story. I'll give a platform for you all to tell your stories and bring in experts to help you to deal with the situation you got. Then I'm still doing the same work. That's the issue. Are you focusing on the goal? If my goal is not ego driven, it's not centering me. My goal is I don't want to be in a position where I can't help my people through my testimony, through my voice, through my experiences. If I can achieve that another way, then I can remove myself. It's not about me. It's about what I'm able to do for my community and for my people. And if you say, oh, I'll give you 150,000, I can't do nearly as much than if you say I'll give you 1.9 million. 1.9 million, I can work on the interest and run a program that'll run even after I'm gone.
Right. Yeah. You said NDA and brought me to Tory Lanez. And
not Tory Lanez.
And it brought me to Tory Lanez, and there was a person who didn't sign an NDA, which was the bodyguard of the girl, Kelsey, who did not sign an NDA. And they've come out, and Tory Lanez's lawyer has now come out and said this about everything that's going on.
She was in close proximity, and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
So, I mean, that's an NDA that he never, which I'm shocked they never got to this individual. I'm shocked this individual is still walking around, that he's able.
She had immunity, right?
But I'm still shocked that this person's walking around. I mean, there's a witness right now for Diddy that they can't find. And the lawyer's like, well, we told you the person wasn't going to show up. So, I mean, just your opinion on what is going on with Tory Lanez. And I know this is different from government stuff. This is different.
This is something that's been heavy on my heart. I always, that video of watching Jonathan Majors run away from that white woman for 3 blocks and losing his whole career. That was one of the most heartbreaking moments for me. You know, you want to talk about you can't win, like the Wiz. You can't win, chat. Like, you can't win. You telling me if I run away for 3 blocks, I still lose my contracts with DC Marvel? Like, I lose everything? If I call the cops and leave her in the apartment and say she's in the apartment, I left, I'll come back when you guys get there. I ran away. I still got to worry about, like Snoop said, 30 years ago, he had a fight in the dorms. And like, wait, what? Wait, he did? You telling me that there was DNA? And if I'm in a trial and there's DNA that's an issue, and I'm the only one who's tested for DNA, mistrial, retrial, whatever. There's no way there's 4 people in a car. There's foreign DNA. My DNA is not on the gun, and we're not still testing. And I'm going to jail, like prison. Like, I'm really about to go up. Like, no. But people were saying that at the time. I remember after 9/11, I was one of those people with Rosie O'Donnell asking a whole lot of questions that I didn't know I shouldn't be asking. Nobody told me back then, yo, young blood, we all know that you're saying the truth, but you're never going to get a job talking like that, and they're going to end up coming for you. So you want to make sure that you don't tell them, you make sure to tell people that you're not suicidal, and make sure you slow down with all that asking questions about free fall speed and building 7 that didn't get hit by a tower. Like, stop, didn't get hit by a plane. Like, chill out. People had to pull me to the side and be like, we know, but don't say it. And when Tory Lanez trial was going on, I remember sitting back like, oh, 9/11 vibes. Everybody sees that this don't really pan out.
Ain't that his lawyer's fault? His lawyers should have demanded
the lawyers
DNA.
were saying it. Remember, his dad was out there with the lineup paint, and he was all going crazy and preaching. People were saying it, and people always say that. Why did nobody say it at the time? People were saying it at the time, but when the momentum gets to a certain level, it's like deafening. You know, the crowd, the mob mentality. You can't hear anything. Once people start yelling and screaming and getting in that mob mentality and mob rule and off with your head, it's like at a lynching or something, or witchy burning. People are yelling. People in the background are saying, I don't think this is right. But who can hear them amongst the people like, oh, who you supporting them? Oh, you caping for Tory? It's like, no, I'm caping for due process. I'm caping for DNA testing that's equitable. Why would somebody ask for or receive immunity unless there was a chance that they could be prosecuted? What part of the game is this? When does just a random witness come in and be like, I got immunity? From what?
So, doctor, you were talking about what his father was saying after the court case the first time, and this is what he said.
and witness the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Butt.
They met on Saturday before. They
They met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want... Listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk. You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty. It's not over. It's not over. God does not lose. Never. And even though we...
So the Rock Nation thing was brought up. Listen, I'm not gonna get into Desiree Perez. If you want to Google Desiree Perez,
me neither. I'm about to say the same thing. I'm about to say you talk about what not to talk about.
If you want to go down the TikTok rabbit hole, and you want to see
Trump pardoned her.
But
y'all knew that, right? Y'all knew Trump pardoned Desiree Perez, right?
Yes.
So once it gets that high and you got backing and you got OG Juan on this side and Trump on the other side and they're saying you're good and you're like, but, and they say, no, she good. I'm just going to keep it pushing too.
Desiree Perez, who happens to be Jay-Z's right-hand woman. But I'll leave it at that. Y'all do what y'all do because if I speak upon anything, what I'm told is I'm trying to take a black man down and I want him to go down. And I'm not, and every word that comes out of my mouth about these celebrities, y'all turn it into me attacking them. And instead of you understanding, I'm trying to open you up that this business doesn't matter what race, when they get in pocket, it is a diabolical, demonistic business that will sell out.
He pardoned her at the end of his last presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I was trying to see who is she, and I just had to Google. So that was back when he was leaving back then. That's when he pardoned her.
They said she took full accountability for her actions and the stuff with the drugs and all that. And yeah, I don't know. And he said something similar to Snoop. He said she's trying to reform her community now. She's doing community work, so the past don't matter as much, So that's the theme for today, I guess.
Yeah, he pardoned.
He's gainfully employed and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
And if
I am for due process. Like the due process thing does hurt me though. Like when I see people look like they're not getting due process, I am big on that. I'm big on if you are a human trafficker, if you are a drug dealer, if you committed murder, I believe like free speech, it cuts both ways. If you're going to advocate for free speech, the only way that you can really protect it is protect the speech you don't agree with. If you like due process, that means for everybody, not just the criminals that you don't like. So that means Diddy and Tory and everybody else deserves the same due process that you would want if somebody accused you of something. There's no in-betweens about this. So a lot of people think when people are arguing for due process, they're arguing in favor of the person. That's why they don't understand how lawyers can take both sides. A lawyer can be a prosecutor or be a defense attorney. A lawyer could work 10 years as a prosecutor, locking people up, then have worked previously pro bono and been saving people from going to jail because they understand there's two sides to an argument and the Constitution affords everybody capable legal counsel and due process. But most people aren't that mature, so that's why they stay out of the courtroom. They can't pass that bar, maritime law, because they didn't pass the bar. They have no right to speak, power to speak, like dictionary, jurisdiction, and they sit in the back and watch while mature people who understand the language of the law and the right to the Constitution that afforded to everybody do what they do. Y'all just sit in the back. And most people are sitting in the back in the comment section talking when they don't understand how the law works or how rights work. until it's them. Then they want due process. When they get in trouble, it's like, oh, no, innocence proven guilty, and I want due process. But let somebody see a headline about a rapper. Oh, he's a monster. Wait. You wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. You would want to wait till
they got Diddy deemed as Diddy's devil. Diddy's the devil. Diddy, he don't get due process, right? Or you saying Diddy should get
I'm always ready for a freak off. That's terrifying to most men. You telling me a lady can call you and be like, I'm always ready for a freak off. You have freak offs, and people are like, no, she didn't mean it.
I'm saying
it 5 times over 3 years.
And let me tell you about due process. Diddy is getting his due process with the money that he has, and he's getting the. And I understand everybody, and this is why. But I want to get to this prison thing, and I want to lighten the room a little bit. There was a
you said
story.
Prison lighten the room. That was funny.
Yeah. I'll lighten the room a little bit. That's the irony. That's crazy. That's funny. A few months ago, I talked about a chip that they were developing. I don't know if it was in Japan. I don't know if it was in China, that could be able to actually read your dreams. And it was a program that it could put it back in the correct sequence. And I made a joke about this is one game that I'm not playing when they can start doing things like this. And it was a joke. I've told the joke on stage. I was like, at this point, you're going to lose your job and go to jail for what you thought. You're going to say good morning to a woman, and she's going to say good morning. She was like, what did you just think? And you're going to go to human resource because she read your mind, and you said she had a fat ass, and you're going to lose your job.
Minority Report, right? Tom Cruise, right?
Minority Report.
And even before that, if you think there's in 1984, Orwell, it was all about thought crimes. There's actually a popular podcast right now called Thought Crimes, talk about hip hop, but it's based on that whole notion. Like you said, we know what you're thinking, what you might do in the future, and based on all that, come with us.
Now, I did a little research on what this lady was saying, but you can look it up yourself. And even we will profile somebody because hey, TikTok is TikTok, social media is social media. Can't believe everything that somebody says. Can't believe everything that comes out of my mouth. It might not be accurate. So I did a little see if this was real. So, and we profile ourselves. Let's not act like we don't profile ourselves because we do. This lady gives a little interesting thing on something that could be the new fad in prison, something that they could do in prison. So I'll let y'all watch this.
Prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence in just a matter of minutes. So the criminals is going to have a choice to spend tens of years behind bars, or they can make the choice to get the artificial memory implanted into their brain. So this process is called Cognify. And the intent of it is to treat the criminal like a patient. They're going to try to change the person's brain chemistry. After this process, when they re-enter society, they will be new and reformed, and they won't even be capable of committing any other crime. The chip can make the patient feel empathetic. Depending on the severity of the crime, the chip can also make you feel the emotional and physical pain of the victim and the family members. You can feel what they felt. So the process only takes about 7 minutes. But to the patient, it seemed like it had been years. Last year, the U.S. government spent $8.7 billion taxpayers' dollars on the prison. They say with this new prison, they can save money for health care, education. Also, they feel that it will be so many reformed people that doesn't commit crimes.
I don't believe it.
Of course you don't.
That's lies.
Okay.
Lies detected.
So you don't believe the next step is to put chips in us? That's what you don't believe.
I don't believe there's that can't be real. There can't be no technology to zap you, to change your whole memory. Like, come on, Mike, stop with the TikTok. Where's the facts? Show me what scientists, what doctors.
You believe there's not something that they have that can eliminate your memory?
What we just watched, no, I do not believe that that's the truth. That's not what somebody's working on that we can zap. No. Okay. Absolutely not.
All right. Well, Dr. Smith, your thoughts on it, and I
don't care what Dr. Smith got to say. I'm doing what you did earlier. Good. Sounds dangerous.
Okay, I'm working now.
Did you see that clip that he just played?
Oh yes, so all
He's
about
looking it
the
up.
chip, and but in Pennsylvania, there's also a political debate about the same thing where they were trying to to do some pre-crimes type of investigation and punishment, looking into people's records and propensity for crime, right? Your likelihood and all that. So they were trying to push the Minority Report type stuff in PA a couple of years ago when I was doing the morning show on WRD, and they're having similar conversations like where does it end? And who's it going to affect disproportionately is always a part of it too. Because there's a lot of black people who are like, that sounds like it might be interesting, but they know how racism works. So they're like, hell no. Because it ain't like it's going to be distributed evenly or for the right purposes. It's going to be, all these black people getting frisked, pulled over, and now having their minds read and minds altered, to the point where they can never be the same. And all the medical experimentation that's already been done on black people. There's a book called Medical Apartheid. From colonial times to now, medical experimentation. They talk about everything from Tuskegee to Henrietta Lacks to all these Holmesburg prison. They experiment on forced sterilization where people can't have babies. They've been doing this with black people and testing melanin. You could type in melanin conferences. They have melanin conferences around the world with no black people in the room. Meanwhile, they act like you shouldn't want to be black, and they sell you products to bleach your skin while they find ways to get free melanin and sell body parts and everything else. So this whole idea about anything that deals with going into your brain, whether it's Elon Musk with the Neuralink chip or this chip, no. Because they have never respected black bodies. I told you about making shoes out of us, using our cells to make vaccines, experimenting on us, cutting into sisters without anesthesia. J. Marion Sims, the father of gynecology. I don't want no white people doing no experimenting whatsoever around no black people. There's been no apology, no reparations. They don't even admit that it happened. They want to take the books away from the schools that even talk about it, and they want to do more experimentation. Stay back.
I mean, listen, you can look it up. I've searched some of it up.
Nikki said.
Nikki says, Jay Black, they have chips out now to help your spine, chips out to help your spinal cord injury patients. I'm not getting it because I don't want to be tracked.
Come with an air tag. You get a cure and an air tag.
So, I mean, listen, I'm not going to, it's far-fetched. It's not far-fetched.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
None of it is far-fetched. And the whole thing scares the living daylights out of me, but I don't know how much history, everything you just not rambled off, that poor word, everything you just said, Mr. Smith, if that had not happened and somebody told you it was going to happen, you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, there's no way. There's no way they were experimenting. There's no way they would do that.
And people still believe that. People still justify all these things when they say, "Oh, in Virginia they forcibly sterilized all these people. In India they're forcibly sterilized." And they have UK. The government in UK was paying to support the sterilization program in India. And like I said, if you don't understand how white supremacy works and this fear of a demographic winter or being replaced, right? People have always been operating on this fear of genetic annihilation from the dominant genes versus recessive genes. People, their whole relationship with black people. Oh, my daughter. Oh, he's going to take my wife. Oh, the baby's going to be black. Like these are real thoughts that govern white identity and consciousness. Like there's no whiteness without blackness. And people don't understand how obsessed the dominant society is with the majority of darker people on the planet. Not just the innovations. I'm talking about touching your hair, your skin, the fetishizing. We look at the searches for all these different sexual sites. The top searches, right, for the last 30 years deal with, we know the acronym, we know the letters, but I'm just saying this is not a two-way street. I was the only black person in my grade. When I got with black people, one thing that I was so surprised about was they weren't thinking about white folks near as much as white folks were thinking about them. They were talking about racism. They talked about oppression. They talked about getting pulled over, and they talked about all those things. But it wasn't like, yo, you ever think about white people's hair? I just want to touch it. No, never been in a conversation like that with a bunch of black. Like it's a major difference that people don't understand. Like there is a complete obsession with everything black: music, sex, hair, jeans, all of that. So when people start saying, yeah, they've been making sure that despite the fact, like South Africa, for example, since Trump brought the refugees, quote unquote, if 7% of the people own over 80% of the wealth in South Africa, and you don't know the context and you don't know why, and you don't know that these people aren't indigenous to that land, then yeah, everything's going to surprise you. People say, we need to take the land. You're going to say, oh, that's offensive. Why would you take those people's land? They look like nice white farmers. That's why context is critical. So yes, if you just want to go to the doctors and people say that, why don't black people trust the doctors? Even during COVID, there were a lot of white people that were just now learning about the history of about black people in the medical field when they were like home alone. Oh, that's why black people don't want to go to the doctors. That's why black people don't want to go to therapy. Things like this, like the Get Out vibe. They're always trying to, socially engineer people and soften them and emasculate them and feminize them. And yes. There's people like there's a guy named Martin Delaney. I used to read his quote in class, and he talked about basically, his home is his castle. And if any man comes to his home in search of a slave, even if it's the president with the Declaration of Independence on his chest, if he thinks he's going to cross the threshold of my house, I'm paraphrasing, and he said, and live, he said he won't. He said, if anybody comes to my door looking for a slave, one of us is going to die. I don't care if it's the president. And I said to my class, have you ever heard this quote? Have you heard of Martin Delaney? They say no. I say, that's why. Because if you were at MLK High School hearing about Martin Delaney and Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X every day, you'd be a whole different person. And teachers know this. That's why Hitler said, give me the babies, like the Catholic Church said, from 1 to 7. You can have them for the rest of their life. We already programmed them.
Let me see. This may be the clip. I'm not certain because I didn't have
Tax cuts all across the board.
No, this is not it. I really want to talk about your opinion on allowing us white South Africans to come into the country. The immigrants that they decided were the good ones. I did have a clip where South Africa actually warned America that they had not been vetted, that these South Africans that you were allowing into the country had been a proponent of apartheid. They had been for apartheid, and they had been punished for their protests to keep apartheid alive. When you see the disgusting measures that they're doing to deport brown and black people, brown people who are kids, they're actually doing raids in schools. Some schools have fought back and not allowed them. When you see the mayor of Newark be detained because he wants to see what's going on in that, yes, I did, the actual facilities and all that good stuff. What comes to your mind when you see them? They actually did a celebration. They actually welcomed the South African immigrants with balloons and said, "We know we're saving you from murder and things
genocide."
Of
I think they
from
use
genocide. From genocide, yes. Well, what are your thoughts on that when you see that?
The irony of the usage of the word genocide at a time like this internationally, right? I'm sure there's some Palestinians are watching that like, whoa, the nerve, right? Like that's bold, right? To never call what's happening in Gaza genocide, but talk about the handful of farmers and be like, that's a genocide over there, right? Just pointing to all the smoke and 90% of the hospitals and schools demolished and all these thousands and thousands of children. People are literally talking about trying to put their children back together, like bringing body parts of their children. Like these are real stories that are happening. They're like, no, over there in South Africa, that's where they need the help. Right? There's videos of aid trucks, right? With all the food going to Gaza and people ambushing the trucks and throwing the food off to the side of the highway, right? And people are literally like going as groups, stopping the food from going to these starving children and letting people die just, a few yards beyond a checkpoint. And he's like, no, these South Africans, we got to focus on them. But again, if you understand racism, then you're like, these are actual people. When you look through the lens of racism, some people's lives have value, some people's lives do not. And when you understand it like that, you're like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense.
So let me ask D. Morris. D. Morris, this is why we get
the black Republican. He's the black.
This is why we get confused, D. Morris. This is why we get confused. White folks running into another country saying they're escaping being murdered is diabolical. We understand that, and we understand that they're the racist. What has happened in South Africa in that continent is actually despicable. But how do you continue to support Trump if you know this is diabolical? Or are you just a Republican who didn't vote for Trump? Because I need to know, D. Morris.
Oh, there's a few of those, I guess, right?
No, he said he voted for Trump, and he said he'd give Trump. He said he'll give him more time, and he'd give him at least a year. Let him work through it. He said give him a year. That's what he said.
Well, I say you got it, brother. Yeah, just like I said with OG Juan and Jay-Z and the part, So you got to know when to throw it up, Hands up.
He didn't vote for Trump, but you was caping for him the other day. I'm confused. You were saying give him time, and why he
are we being catfished politically?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
If I can just take like 50 seconds, because I was talking about this quote and I said, let me read the quote because the quote is so dangerous. I want to make sure that people can hear it and me not paraphrase. So just give me like 40 seconds. I'm just going to read the small part. So he says, whatever ideas of liberty I received from reading the lives of your revolutionary fathers. This is Martin Delaney talking to America per se. And one of those ideas that a man may defend his castle with his life, even to the taking of life. Sir, my house is my castle, and in it dwell none but my wife and my children, free as the angels in heaven, and with the liberty as sacred as the pillars of God. If any man shall enter that house in search of a slave, be he constable, sheriff, magistrate, or let it be he who sanctioned this into law, to my President Millard Fillmore, with his cabinet as his bodyguard and the Declaration of Independence dangling above his head as a banner, and the Constitution of his country as a breastplate and shield, if he shall enter the threshold of my house, and I do not lay him a lifeless corpse at my feet, may the grave refuse my body a resting place, and righteous heaven my spirit a home. No, he cannot enter that house, and we both live. Now, if you are told about people like that took stands like that, and you say, what are we going to do about Trump? What did Martin Delaney say? That's why they can't learn this. Because if people see the adults saying, I don't know what to do about Trump, they say, well, I was looking in history class about a man who said what he would do with the president if it was a problem with him. That's why you ain't never seen Martin Delaney in none of your books. This is the first black man to get accepted to Harvard Medical School. Racism chased him out. This is the man who was in the military. He worked with Frederick Douglass and knew. How do you write a man out of history that did all this? Because he stood up, and there's no asterisk next to his name. Wow. But just one example, but this is the problem. Because if you hear that quote every day, can you imagine young kids 5 and 6 reading that quote, reciting that quote at oratorical conferences and competitions and just growing up learning and feeling like that and saying that's how you treat it, that's how you stay. These people and when they play with you and play in your face and try to play in your house and with your children, and when ICE comes to your door, don't get me started. Can you imagine? ICE is at the door. ICE is at the door. If any man come to this house looking for an immigrant, if any man, right, you can switch it up to suit you. Imagine ICE came to the door and everybody was acting like Larry Davis. And they didn't know who Larry Davis is. They wasn't around when Larry Davis shot up all the get wild like Larry Davis in scenario. Right? Like if people see these examples of people who don't let people play in their face, an eye for an eye on the hitting type tip, then the students will be different people. When the cops come to smack everybody upside the head, they would know, like my dad used to say, if you want to get some, you're going to give some. And the cops who worked in South Philly used to say that. They love to fight the police. They had the privilege to do so without dying, but they knew that certain people, you couldn't just go in them bars and just start cracking heads and thinking that nobody was going to end up, going and getting some treatment on your side too. That's why a lot of times, even with these recent protests, they didn't come out there cracking heads and spraying mace and riding horses all over everybody's back. They treat them like human beings. But the other reason is these are Second Amendment advocates. And a lot of ex-veterans that have never accepted this second-class citizenship. These white men do not look at themselves as somebody to be trampled on or treated poorly. And when you start trampling on them, they go right back to don't tread on me, give me liberty or give me death.
I've been thinking about that, about ICE. And my thoughts have been, if you know where you're going to end up, if they're going to send you to El Salvador, or now the temptation is they're trying to finagle Libya.
And a prison, though, not just send them there. Send them
to a prison. A prison in these countries.
You ain't just taking a trip.
You're taking a prison.
Yeah, you going to
most people really, and I've never been to El Salvador, so I don't want to shade El Salvador. Most people, El Salvador ain't on the top 5 vacationing spots that you want to go to.
Dream destination.
It's not the dream destination, but I've never been there, so I don't know the beauty of every country. I don't know that there's beauty in every country.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always thought, and I've been thinking this regularly, these ICE agents, when are we going to hear? I'm not promoting this. I'm not advocating it. I'm saying in common sense, if people know what the consequences are if they take you, what choice do you really have of not maybe repeating the words, but taking the actions of a Martin Delaney?
Yeah, go out with a bang. They're going to take your kids too. Imagine you being separated from your kids. If I'm the only person taking care of my family and I'm going to jail overseas, hey, what they say in Juice? If you got to go out, that's how you go out. That destiny is on.
So what do you say to people? Say, well, get your citizenship legally. Then we don't want you here if you're illegal. Do it the right way.
But the irony is, who's saying that? The descendants of the people who killed 90 million native people and enslaved 4 million Africans, and like those are the people saying it. Like, dad, y'all, how soon we forget? Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? You are your father's father's father. Just like Fred Trump was getting arrested at that Klan rally, you are your father's father's father. You do not belong here. You are not indigenous to this land. Nobody gave you any rights. You took the land, you took lives, and you took the liberty to create laws and a whole system around your colonization and your conquest. At no time did you work out a deal. All the deals you walked out, you breached all the treaties. They said it was 200 plus treaties you signed with the indigenous people. You went back on every single treaty. You are a liar and a fraud and a rapist and a murderer and a thief and a killer. You are of your father, the devil. You're the devil the Bible speaks of. You have went around the world and caused so much harm and grief and destruction. And you turn around and tell people where they can be after you reclassify them and lie about who they are. The nerve of you devils and sons and daughters of devils. That's what I think about it. I look at them like, oh, you really think you belong here. You really think you earned it. You really think that there's not blood on your hands and you're not walking on Lenape land and Creek land. You really think that you deserve to even have a voice in this conversation. Can you imagine somebody just walking in your house, Jay, because the door was unlocked and just start talking about you and your lady's taxes and where the children should go to school? You would look and be like, what are you? Who are you? Why are you talking? Why are you here? Wait, you the one that broke in my house last week? You back? No, that was my brother. Well, still, you related to the thief and the disrupt. Like, come on, man, please. That's why history's so dangerous, because history contextualizes who should even be in the conversation in the first place. Whose land is it to even talk about who should be here? That's a real question. Who has the right to tell people to leave here? It shouldn't be the people who came and did the most killing, lying, stealing, and treaty breaching. But that's the conversation they don't want to have. The root conversation is you're a thief and you don't belong. But you want people to agree to your illusion and then operate according to your illusion. You want us to start in the middle and go from there. Like me saying the father of rap who started it all was Eminem back in 1990. No. We're not doing that. We're not starting in the middle. So when they try to do that to me, the same way you chuckle, that's how I chuckle when they say we're going to do world history and start in Greece. And I'd be like, wait, not Kush, not Nubia, not Egypt, not... We're going to skip thousands of years and dynasties, and we're going to say world history started in Greece. You're going to say theater started in Greece, like black people didn't have talent. You're going to say that writing started in Greece, even though the Egypt had papyrus and they wrote all over the walls and they had libraries like Timbuktu in the first colleges. I laugh the same way. It sounds like somebody saying that Eminem is the father of hip hop when they tell me we're going to start history and start in Greece. But that's why they know they got a 500-year quick history. Everybody else is thousands of years old. They want people to believe this is the best thing that ever happened to the world, and that for some reason, somehow, they should not pay anybody for anything they've done, and that people should not read about it, talk about it, or they shouldn't be held accountable and shouldn't even have to listen to it and feel guilty, or else they'll have what? Black fatigue.
You know what's depressing, and I will take ownership over this, is that what you've just said and the things that we don't know. I knew why they wanted to take away critical thinking. I knew why they didn't want critical thinking. I know why our education system is in shambles in the cities that we're the majority in, that we live in. How does the knowledge get spread when the books are being taken, the history is being erased, and our families are in an a dysfunction place, a place where the government has played a part to make sure that there's nobody to pass down these stories, because now they're making it so that, listen, when I Google Donald Trump, they got Google. I can Google Donald Trump's failures in his administration. I did it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in his business, like 6 bankruptcies.
No, in his administration. And they will come up with everything that he's done. It won't even tell you. Now, I'm going to try it again. I tried it twice when I was on the show. My point is, how do we put the self-esteem back in these children and get them and educate them? Is it an impossible mission? Or are we doing something that we can't? I mean, you're an educator. Like, how do you think we go about this? Like, as parents, how do we go about this?
Well, I'm always it is to introduce one. They say that a drop of purity can purify a cesspool. right? Like it's the best example I can give in ratchet terms, since I'm the rapping professor and I always want to give from ratchet terms. If you've ever been at a party or at a club and somebody's parents show up,
yeah,
and the DJ, well, you've been on the mic, you probably announced it. If you ever like 923 or dances, and like I used to host the dances sometimes when I was on the radio, and and the parent would come up, bonnet and everything, cussing, top of their lungs, sometimes belt in hand, right, ready to put belt in, right, and I'd have to stop the music and be like, "Yo, DJ Mackie, hold on 1 second, I got to give a special shout out to Shaniqua because her mom is here," right? Lights would come on sometimes, right? And it didn't even have to be your mom. Just the fact that a parent had entered this child space of debauchery, it just changed the frequency. So when I say things to people like, "Hey, I heard you were studying Socrates. I heard you like Plato. I heard you studied Thales." And he was talking about a triangle isosceles, but he didn't talk about the pyramids. I ask a question like, "Where did they go to school?" Only takes one question. Then somebody says, "Wait, I heard Socrates went to school in Egypt for 15 years and studied at the feet of Black African masters. Nobody lynched him. Nobody segregated against him. There's no record of him being called names or spit on like Ruby Bridges. So we can be human beings. Race doesn't even have to matter. It was all about knowledge." So we have examples of people getting along. It's not a default that we all just look different and don't treat each other right. But you can't even get to the potential of humanity treating each other right and prioritizing knowledge because you don't want to tell the truth about the Black origins of civilization. But if you ask somebody, just look at where did Socrates go to school, and then it opens up like Narnia through the closet, a whole new world, word to Jafar, right? Like this is the way it works. Like you just say one, that's why we're so dangerous, especially in the academy as African-American studies professors. People take one class and they be like, "Oh, that was it." Mark Laurent Hill said one of the books that changed his life was the autobiography of Assata Shakur. He just read about this sister, being stopped on the parkway, getting beat down, getting busted out of jail. He just read about this. He said it changed the way he thought. Malcolm said the same thing. Malcolm was in jail. His nickname was Satan. He came in contact with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He didn't meet him in jail. All he needed was some books. And that's why, like you said, critically, that's why they burned the libraries. Whenever they came and conquered, they was like, tear this all down. The memory, the history, the inspiration, them knowing what they've achieved in the past and what might be possible for them in the future. They can't know none of this. Tulsa, Oklahoma didn't even have a marker till the 1990s about the Black Wall Street massacre. They weren't even telling people in Tulsa what happened in Tulsa. People would come to the library and they weren't even letting them read certain books. They were taking their names down when they were trying to get certain information. So no, it's an uphill battle, but I think it's a winnable battle because all you need is one victory. It's like the cops. You can get away with something every day. The cops catch you once, they win. And I think it's just the other way when it comes to racism. They can lie every day to somebody for their whole life. Once they get knowledge of self or they learn true history, it's over and the spell is broken and they're never the same again. And when people hear me talk, they be like, "Oh, Dr. Smith talking, Dr. Smith talking." No, Dr. Smith has been reading Martin Delaney. Dr. Smith has looked at the life of Ida B. Wells. Dr. Smith learned that Jackie Robinson was getting the Rosa Parks treatment when he was in the military, and they tried to court-martial him, and he got acquitted by an all-white jury. And then later, after they tried to use him as some poster child for inclusion, he said, "I can't stand for the flag and the national anthem," and did the Colin Kaepernick. I'm talking like they talked. I just learned from the best. But when you get examples like Crispus Attucks, he went and was the first person to die. That's one thing we do here. We hear Crispus Attucks was the first person to die in the Revolutionary War. And you want to know what Crispus Attucks had? Crispus Attucks had what they called a cudgel. A cudgel is a stick with a rock on it. And if you look at the picture in the Revolutionary War, they always have in our books, is a whole lot of people with rifles. And then they see the black man like this. And they say, "That's Crispus Attucks. You should be like him. You should die for the country like him." And when I learned that they sent this Negro to war with a stick and a rock, talk about bringing a knife to a gunfight. Everybody in the picture got rifles, and the black dude is up front on the front lines with a stick and a rock. And they tell you all the time, "You should honor Crispus Attucks, man. Crispus Attucks, he did a good thing. You should be like Crispus Attucks. You should be all you could be like Crispus Attucks." And I say, I see why they give me Crispus Attucks and not Martin Delaney, because they want me to become Crispus Attucks and not Martin Delaney. And once you realize that as an educator, you say, "Oh, I can engineer humanity in one generation." That's why Hitler had the SS Youth. Just give me the kids. We good. And that's why they won't give us the opportunity to teach the babies. And Malcolm said, anybody who lets their enemy educate their children is a fool.
So when Malcolm,
I think that's the answer. The short answer to your question.
Yeah.
We don't know who our enemies are. And we keep sending them we keep sending our kids to get checkups by them medically. We keep sending our kids to get educated by them. We keep sending our kids to focus on their politics and not like Ibrahim Traoré Traore, who's in Burkina Faso, reclaiming the mines, while that black general that looks like RoboCop is sitting at Congress talking about something. We got to be careful for Ibrahim Traore. They put a black man up there again, the same way they put Obama up to take down Gaddafi. But now we got social media. African people are like, don't fall for it, African Americans. They're trying it again. They're trying to get a democratically elected leader in Africa to get assassinated. They're trying to set it up. And that's why Russia came in and North Korea came in and said, hands off Ibrahim Traore. Everybody is loving what he's doing in Burkina Faso. The whole African continent is like, yeah, we need to own our own stuff. I don't know if y'all realize this. Let me give you a statistic real quick. France has 2,473 tons of gold. France has no active gold mines. One more time, France has 2,437 tons of gold, but France has no gold mines. France has been looting Africa for generations. Then they sit up and they smile on TV. They wear these suits. They shake hands, do these photo ops. You are still stealing, just like they're still getting colonial tax from Haiti for the time they enslaved them. And they talk, Haiti's the poorest country on earth. And never mention the fact they just gave in the past year so many billions to France. So once you rip the cover off and you're like, oh, everything you're doing is just a distraction and a front. You're trying to Trump me to death, not because you think Trump is different, not because you think that Trump is the system. You know the system will change, will continue without Trump. Racism has been here before Trump, racism will be here after Trump. You want us focusing on Trump to take away from your racism and all the things internationally that you're doing to uphold this illusion, like robbing the whole African world blind and miseducating them and trying to destroy their lives, whether you're beating them to death on the street or whether you're taking all their natural resources. So once that veil is lifted, there's no turning back.
So with that, let me play this drop for what Dr. Smith just said. This is a drop that I like to play right here.
Would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts.
Play that, and also before Stacey Mitchell will get at me, because Stacey, thank you for, we got a comedy show. I'm sorry, this is a hard, I have to put this out there. We got a comedy show Saturday night. Can you move that real quick? Saturday night. It's at the Soul Island, 34 Route 130, Burlington, New Jersey. Grown folks and giggles. Shout out to my man Kobe Jack, Chanel Renee. I'll be hosting it. DJ Alamo will be in the building doing his damn thing. If you want to get them tickets, go to Eventbrite now. Look up Grown Folks and Giggles. Show starts at 8 o'clock. Get there. We're gonna rock out tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
So I'm getting some rest. Sorry. I had to put that in there after.
Wait, what time does it start though? What time does it start?
It's gonna start at 8 o'clock. I will be hosting. So if you want to get the advance tickets, $25.
Jersey. That ain't far at all. Maybe me and Dr. Smith will pop up.
That's the one part I would have made bigger. I'm glad you said that again. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
You know, we all with time. You know,
yeah, everybody with time.
You know, we all with time. You know.
Time is precious. Time
I don't agree with every stereotype, but let them know what time it starts.
It starts. I would get there at 7:30 because I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you gotta talk to the
I'm really trying to start this at 8 o'clock. I'm really trying to get, there's 10 of y'all, there's 30 of y'all, there's 4. Y'all gonna get the opening 15, 20 minutes of the funny. Then I'm bringing comedians and we're gonna rock out. Then we're gonna do an after party. So it's all good. I don't know how long the after party is gonna last. I don't know what time it shuts down. All I know is Grown Folks and Giggles tomorrow is going down. The Soul Island will be in the building. It's not going to be the last thing I do there. It's something. Shout out to Stacey Mitchell and the Stacey Mitchell Experience. She's on her grizzly. She's on her grind. She's got my back, and I got yours. So I wanted to put that out there. I actually posted it on social media at Mike Sean Comedy. Woo! All right.
That's dope. And it's important at a time like this. Like a lot of people keep saying, even the question we're asking on the show. What do we do? What do we do? Sometimes it's important to give less attention to some of this negative stuff and take a break to laugh and to heal and to relax and to not just stay locked into a negative cycle of news that you can't impact and control directly. So no, a lot of ways that you do help out, step away from it. Have a good time with family and friends. Like laughter is really therapeutic. It's really good spiritually and physically. Like it's important. People keep saying, what do we do? What do we do? Sometimes it's just, I heard somebody say a good quote. They said, your rest is your resistance. You're just taking a break and chilling and laughing and having a good time and resetting and bringing the temperature back down and reflecting on good times. That is a way of activism. You don't got to get pepper sprayed and beat down and jailed to be an activist and to resist what's going on. Sometimes ignoring the negative is a powerful way to respond to it.
And you know what's funny? And that's why every once in a while, when we are overwhelmed, I gotta play this. Every once in a while.
Serious craving for something I want to eat. I need some cheese, tomatoes, and all.
Get your hands ready. Jazz hands, y'all. Jazz hands.
I need some pizza, 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 pizza. Every time I want that pizza, 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 I go to David's Pizza.
Because a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. Dr. Smith, he's hilarious.
I was gonna
Like,
say,
me and Dr. Smith have had hours of being in a studio, a radio studio, laughing.
Oh, we could have did a whole couple breaks on that clip right there. That's
we would have. What?
Just the shirt. We could have just. The shirt could have been a whole break like that. Gordon Gartrell. He went.
Just the fact that he went to the barbershop and he got that haircut lined up the way he did.
Yeah, that was
like
striking.
absolutely. Like I give him credit for just.
His barber wasn't honest with him.
He said, "You gonna make this crispy. You gonna keep it exactly the way it is."
Every time I
kill him out
want
there.
that pizza, 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 I go to David's Pizza.
The line that went back is crispy.
I've never seen a pizza commercial that didn't have pizza in the commercial.
It didn't have pizza to the end. They only showed a pizza spot. There's no.
Yeah, I'm about to say, show me the pizza. I want to see what I'm going to be buying and eating. Like, I want to see your headline. I don't care about your shirt. Your dance. Well, where's the pizza? I want to see the pizza.
They never showed the pizza.
You get there, the pizza might be this big. The pizza. We ain't say it was a whole pizza. We just.
Do you know what that means? That means I've been in these meetings. That means when they saw the commercial, they were so impressed by what he was doing that they said, "Don't worry about it. We got it. We let him cook.
You'll see it when they get here. They coming though."
Yeah, did you see what he just said about David's Pizza? We're good. Yeah, that's the haircut is crispy, just like the pizza crust. Listen, man. Listen.
Who was on wardrobe?
That was the 80s, son.
Yeah, so those edits, those 4 square edits. I said, oh yeah, I know what this
was. That
was
the 80s. That was solid gold. That was the 80s. Everything.
Yeah. Star Search, solid gold, all that. Yeah. That's what it felt like. My gosh.
Oh man! All right, Jay, you got something. Do you want to do ratchet?
I could put anything. I got a ratchet. I got this baby mom.
You see the video I didn't show him, right? You see the video I didn't show him.
The video you didn't.
The male reproduction rights. You say I didn't play that video because I don't even have the energy for that today.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because then that would get Lady Q kicked up, and
I don't even want the problem.
Yeah,
I said I want the problem, but I'm exhausted. I don't want that.
It is.
But next week, Jay, you should probably bring up something. There's a lot of good videos though. The Ibrahim Traore thing. That's probably the most important story in the African world.
The what?
The president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. But he's the one who's he's telling France that we're going to keep our diamonds and our gold and our cobalt and our copper. And he realizes that Africa is the only continent in the world that can be self-sufficient without trade. So Africa's recognized his power. And he said, you're not going to kill me like you did Stephen Biko and Gaddafi and all the other black leaders that you got rid of, right? And the CIA admits it 20, 30 years later. He said, we're not doing that. And the whole African world is like, yo, we need to start standing up. So it's a major deal, but you never see it in the news. Like there's been major rallies in the streets celebrating this man. Like he is a hero. It's Traore.
Wait.
Ibrahim Traore. IBRA him, HIM, IBRA him, and then it's TRAORE. And this man is giving some speeches. Even he gave a speech in front of like a United Nations type assembly where he was talking about how France is getting rich and these people are going to private schools, but the people who actually live in these places their father died in the mine and they don't get any of the benefit and they're living on 10 cents a day and walking 6 miles barefoot every day for water. Like he was just contrasting the realities of these people acting like they're, UNICEF and USAID and all this, when really they're pillaging and robbing Africa's natural resources and how it's a new day. And Trump was sitting there. So there's a speech online where Trump is in the audience and he's saying all this. And the whole African world went crazy and celebrated and said every black child in the world needs to watch this. And I looked at the media that night on the news and nobody said a word. Anderson Cooper and them was like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, nobody said a word. So what I'll do is I'll get some clips. And this is the scary part. And y'all joke. You're only gonna find this on social media. You're not gonna see this on your TV.
But that's why we need the TikToks of the world, because
TV is dangerous right now.
It does give you that.
And TikTok is where I found those other outlets. When I look at the news in India, it's like you said, Mike, I saw a clip on TikTok. I said, what news show is this? Then I look online, I type in the broadcaster, and it's like, oh, this is what India's saying. When you look at what China was saying about Trump backing down from them tariffs, yo, they was clowning him like we won. He folded. Like Trump is saying, oh, yeah, it worked out a great deal. No, if you look at the news in China, China was like, we are the champions. They were talking about the trust. There's a rating where you can trust the economy of different nations. America was like -5. China was like a +14. Like the China economy was like, yo, you stood up to the big bad wolf. He folded. China is strong. Go China. The numbers weren't lying. The rest of the world is looking at China like you won that one. It's like a battle rap when somebody's saying he ain't get me, and the whole world's like, no, you lost that one. And the rappers still don't want to admit it.
And the video, well, that I saw that too. The video that they want me to get you your opinion on about male reproductive rights. I went and researched what Lady Q was talking about the young lady who has passed away, was pregnant in Atlanta. And because of the anti-abortion laws, they've kept her alive and they're going to keep her alive. And I think she's passed away for weeks. Her child that's still alive now.
21. She's 21 weeks pregnant. That's 4 months pregnant. She's brain dead, and they're going to keep her alive. So to force her to have the baby. So they're going to basically keep her on a ventilator, even though she's brain dead, until she can deliver this baby, and then give her over to the grandparents, and I guess the father, and with a bunch of medical bills to associate with it, because of the whole heart what is it called? The heartbeat law. The heartbeat law. Oh yeah, it's something called a heartbeat law. So yeah, as a black girl, and
she has a son.
Yeah, so they keeping her alive. She already got a son, but they keeping her alive. So go ahead, Mike. What was you saying about this?
I think the bizarre part is that the parents of the woman have no rights because of this law.
Oh, they can't decide to pull the plug.
No, they can't because it's against the law.
What is their position? Did they say what their position is? Are they happy that the child and the part of her is going to continue? Do they
they're to Emory, Decatur, and then she was transferred here
to Emory University Hospital, where Adriana worked as an RN. Unfortunately, there was nothing doctors could do.
They did a CT scan and she had blood clots all in her head. So they had asked me if they could do a procedure to relieve them, and I said yes. And then they called me back and they said that they couldn't do it.
Doctors declared Adriana brain dead.
So I feel as if somebody dropped the ball at the hospitals, and her boyfriend asked, please keep her. If she was kept at the hospital, we wouldn't be here.
Because of Georgia's heartbeat bill, which bans abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected, her family says they weren't given any say in what happens next.
It's torture for me. I come here and I see my daughter breathing blood. She was taken to what bring this
now 21 weeks pregnant, her baby's health uncertain.
She's pregnant with my grandson, but my grandson may be blind, may not be able to walk, wheelchair bound. We don't know if he'll live once she has him.
A situation she says no one should be forced into.
It should have been left up to the family, because
my God,
I'm in my 50s, her dad is in his 50s, so we're going to have the responsibility with her partner to raise her sons, and I'm not saying that we would have chose to terminate her pregnancy. What I'm saying is we should have had a choice.
It's likely doctors will not induce Adriana for...
It's just a weird circumstance. I don't believe in the law, but and I thought what complicated things is the mom at the end was like, we're not saying we would have terminated the pregnancy. Which puts everything in I'm not for the law because I think the parents should make the decision. I think it's up to you. But it's a fuzzy gray area because I don't know. I don't know.
But I saw how they definitely tried to gloss over the boyfriend tried to keep her overnight, and they sent her home.
They sent her home.
And she's a nurse. So if they not even treating the nurses right, the pregnant nurses with blood clots on their brain can't even get treatment right. We dealt with this. He went to what is the Serena Venus, whatever, the Serena Williams. Remember when she was like, I needed a third opinion, and the doctors wouldn't tell. I almost died having my baby and all this other stuff. Then when she wore the cat suit outfit, they got mad at the outfit when she was like, no, this is medical and all this. Like, there's such a long history of them misdiagnosing. They still say that Black women are less susceptible to pain, and as a result, they're less likely to receive the proper diagnosis, less likely to get pain medication, and even the infant mortality rate is double what it is for white women. We got our babies can't even be brought to term. They're dying because all this misdiagnosis and not understanding this and not really caring about our lives, but they care about their practice. So I think, to be honest with you, I think the medical profession has I'll say warped obsession with practice and experimentation, like in law, it's a practice. They don't know what they're doing all the time. They're figuring things out. They always want to experiment. They always want to learn more and what would happen if. So I think that is taking control. It's not because they love this unborn Black child. It's because they want to know what happens and they want to get the data and they want to test to see, is the baby blind? Is the baby going to walk? So they're in that mode. And a lot of times you'll be thinking, they'll send somebody out to talk to you who has that human connection and ability to look like a human being. But in the back room, just like when you go buy a car, the guy who can relate to you is going to walk you and take you for the test drive. He's going to say, oh, you're a comedian. Oh, I might go there. I'm from New Jersey. But then you go in the back room with the guy with the numbers, and he's going to say, congratulations. And then he's going to charge you 3 times as much you thought you were going to pay for the car. So everybody knows how this works. So the real people who get the data, who take the body parts and sell them and ship them, you don't meet them. You don't see that process. You meet the person who got those warm puppy dog eyes, who wears the white coat, puts the hand on your shoulder, and lets you cry and collapse in their chest. And then they go and take the body parts and the organs and all this stuff, and they celebrate all the advancements they can do. And if they cared about the Black babies, then when the woman who accused Emmett Till a couple of years ago was brought up on charges, they would have said, yes, indict her. They didn't. When the Black Wall Street victims who were over 100 years old, just like last year in 2024, went up for reparations and they were about to die after witnessing people having to make a choice between burning inside their buildings or coming out and getting shot and losing all their worldly possessions, that grand jury again said, no, we're not going to give you anything. Take your 100-year-old selves and die. They don't care about Black old people, young people, babies, or nothing in between. So that's the shame of it all, that they're taking attention away from the fact that this is a major problem. It should be a major lawsuit. The hospital shouldn't have sent her home. That should be the story. Hospital gets sued for prematurely sending person home. Negative theme for Black women in the medical field. But they know that by just, again, doing something else, they change the story. They're masters at this 3-card Molly thing where they,
and it has us, and it has us focusing on that. Because
mission accomplished, right? Mission accomplished.
Who gets that hospital bill? Like, if she's the patient, who gets that hospital bill? Like, because they're going to be charging them up. Like, do it go to the parents? Because the parents don't have the rights to say anything. Do it go to the baby dad?
Well, definitely shouldn't go to parents. I would say maybe but is it a partner or is it a husband? Because sometimes that's
boyfriend.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if he's not married, then you can't throw them bills on me because I'm a boyfriend. But for them, again, they're not thinking about that. They're like, yo, what we're gonna get out of this. They have an active experiment. They have a cadaver. This is like back to medical school. They can poke and prod and test and look at the numbers and check day to day. And they can give her different treatments. They can say, well, this day it seemed like the baby would benefit from giving some morphine. So, and they're going to write that down. What was the effects of giving her this and that? And they're like, this is beautiful. We have a whole testing site, a test lab in our hospital. And they won't say that to you. They won't be like, yo, we get some good data out of this. Just like when your relative, the level's about to go, they don't say, well, it's a good thing this person's in between like 18 and 30. Those are the best ages to get these organs. They ain't gonna say that to you. They're gonna let you cry and everything else. And the second they pull that curtain and wheel into a different floor, get to chopping.
Yeah, I know they took my best friend's organs. As I grew up, he died at 17. And they said he was brain dead, even though we saw motion and
they quit. Yeah, I've been through that too. Well, they were so ready. I've seen that.
And they were so ready, and we were so naive and didn't know. And that's why I tell everybody, don't you take me off. Don't you unplug me. Don't you unplug me. As long as you can financially do it, keep my ass on there because I've been known to be late.
You never know, right?
You never know with me. You never know.
He pop up like, what happened?
What happened? We good? Do I got a show or something like that? They sold it out the family, suing them from her being brain dead in the first place. All right, so we got a few more minutes. Listen, let's just relax. Let's just get to the good old fashioned N-word. When everything fails, let's just get to the good old fashioned N-word. It's an Uber driver. The Uber driver, there's a Black man or woman in the back seat. She seems to be being maybe some would say a little too extra. And the scenario is they drive off. She needs him to drive back around because maybe she forgot something or something like that. He says, you'll have to start a whole new trip, all like that. She gets slick. He gets slick. And I figure, hey, let's just end up with some good, crispy American N-word. Because this has been very deep. We appreciate Dr. Arron. Dr. Arron always brings the fire with us. But hey, why not? And you got to listen closely. Read the captions, Dr. Smith. Read everything. And here we go. I'm trying to preface it.
I need to run back home. It should charge whatever it's going to charge on the app if you go back.
I can circle around, but then I'll have to cancel the ride because I'm already too far away. So I can loop back around, but then you'll have to reorder it.
No, because then I'm going to be paying the whole $13 again.
Let me know what you'd like me to do. I'm going to drop you
Go, drop me off because that's stupid. I'm not about to pay a whole another $15, $20, $13.
Do you want me to drop you back home or not? I'm telling you what your options are.
I'll just cancel the ride.
Okay.
Thank you. Never been through this that white shit, so please.
Okay. And nothing to do with race, but if you're gonna act like a nigger, then be a nigger.
I'll be one.
All
Thank you.
And get the fuck out of my car.
I will.
Nigger.
Hey, that's how we gonna end the Friday. Let's go, Dr. Arron Smith. Some good old regular.
You didn't see that coming.
No, it was funny because he said it ain't about race, and then he proved it always is. It's just under the surface, but it is. It ain't about race. I said, wait, it is about race. It is about race. Oh, he might have took the white girl home. He might have took the white girl back. I don't know.
I mean, she said, I've never experienced that white shit. And then it all went left. A lot of people say he was just waiting.
He was ready. He had that thing loaded. He had one in the chamber. He had one N-word in the chamber. It's off safety. My mouth is off safety.
I think a lot of racists would say that is the epitome of black fatigue. We are tired of somebody saying this is some white shit.
That was both versions. Both versions of black fatigue. He was tired of it, and she was tired of it. They were both tired. Oh man! Why he throw the extra one on top at the end though? He's like, she was already getting out. The ride was canceled. He already told the word. He was like, one for the road, literally, because you on the
take this one. Take this one. Here's another.
Don't forget this.
Oh yeah, you left something back here. No,
you did leave something. You didn't leave something at home. You left something in the car. Yeah, N-word. Oh man. And who uploaded the video? So he made it public. It was his video.
Yes, he uploaded the video.
And I'm sharing. Please.
He said,
"How did he?"
Oh man!
If somebody said they know if he got backlash, they get the GoFundMe and everything. He know his.
Yeah, he's about to get money. He about to come up.
He
said calling black people the N-word is big business these days. Lucky you wasn't 5 years old. I'd have 500,000 right now.
Another thing that y'all have capitalized on that we made cool and great, and y'all done took it and y'all done made it profitable.
They trying to take the N-word back. It's not free Tory, it's free the N-word.
It's free the N-word. They took
white people. Oh man!
So and then after before you go, let's just get into this video. We played this one. Okay. Man interviews two women and talking about male reproductive rights, and one woman seems to have agreed with him, and the other woman is just stuck on what she's stuck on. So let's play this. Here it goes. Here it goes.
Wait till 9 o'clock.
Body, her choice, and with that. Yeah. My question is, if we give a woman the right to opt out of motherhood, should we also give a man the right to opt out of fatherhood and 18 years of child support?
I agree. You don't agree?
No, I don't know.
But if a mom walks into an abortion clinic and says, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and gets an abortion, the dad has no say. How come this mom can't? Let's just say it's a one-night stand, just hypothetical. Okay. And the mom comes back to the dad and is like, hey, I'm pregnant. Why can't he opt out if she was able to say, hey, I don't want this baby? It's a double standard.
Well, he could obviously sign his rights away, but he cannot physically make
he can sign his rights away because he has to pay child support. I mean, he is legally bound by child support.
Honest, that's just the way it is.
I know, but do you think it's right?
You can't tell a woman to have an abortion. Like, that's it.
I know, but do you think it's right that a mom can say, I don't want this baby, but a dad never can?
I mean, I just think that's just the way it is.
But do you think it's right?
I mean,
yes or no? I don't think it's right. I think the whole system's
We
on
spend
about that.
so much time talking about a woman's choice.
Right, but the man doesn't have one.
But my only point is, what reproductive rights does a man have?
None.
All right, Dr. Aaron Smith, have at it, because we did this whole thing yesterday. Have at it. What are your thoughts and opinions,
Well,
Dr.
just as a
Smith?
point of correction, I think the delineation that needs to be made is the difference between abdicating or formally relinquishing your rights and being on the hook as far as your responsibilities. So the difference was rights versus responsibilities, because they were saying like he can give away his rights, and then she was trying to make a point that was basically saying he'll still be held responsible, and they weren't really able to flesh out the language to effectively delineate. So I want to make sure that was stated. But I mean, comedians and everybody else has been saying this for a long time. I think at this point, when I do this again, most men, this whole thing that they think is this resurgence, this manosphere thing, it's men saying, you know what, you got it. And it's one of the most dangerous places to be. If you've ever been in a club and two men are arguing and one person says, no problem, and does a spin move, oh, it's time to leave. Get in that. If your car's in that Evolution's parking lot, you might want to, if you're parked in the back, you want to start weaving through, right? You got to get out of there. You got to know when it's time to leave. There's been times where I've been in the club and said, it don't feel right. And then 10 minutes later, right? And I've seen you at the show the next day. It's like, yeah, it got crazy. Somebody started. It felt like it. It felt like, it was a little too many men in there and a little too much tension, and you could feel it brewing. And right now, a lot of men are like, you know what? This is so unfair. And like you were saying earlier, Mike, I'm just trying to say both sides. I'm just trying to show you a different way of thinking. And you see the consequence of critical thinking and exposing people to different ideas and perspectives. A lot of people, they take that default position of, oh, you're not able to be communicated with. You don't want to learn anything. Noted. And men for the past 5 years, the whole Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, why people listen to it, it's because whatever you think of these gentlemen, before that, men were noticing. I saw a whole thread last night about Tory Lanez and Diddy. And they were like, Diddy's a monster. And somebody tried to say that, Michael Sean. I don't agree with the domestic violence, but you have to understand that that's not what he's being accused of in a court of law. Oh, they chopped him up. You're an ignorant. Now I know who to delete from my friends. And I was like, wait a minute. That's a completely factual statement with no opinions or emotional. And I had, again, a lot of people are looking at this like, I realize, even Dave Chappelle made that joke. If you can kill this MF, at least I can abandon him, right? Everybody knows. And the most dangerous statement that was made in that clip was, that's just the way it is.
That's just the way I was going to say. That crosses all racial boundaries.
Getting beat up with the rule of thumb, you could beat a woman as long as the stick's not. That's the way it is. That's the way. Whenever you hear somebody say that's the way it is, especially in a white supremacist society or world, you need to know that there's trouble brewing, and there's people who are getting privileged and they're not directly affected, and they don't mind keeping the status quo going, even if it means you lose your life. So I think that most people, and I'll give you a good example with the Tory Lanez and the Diddy. I was gonna say, does anybody remember Lorena Bobbitt? Lorena Bobbitt cut off her partner's genitalia and threw it to the road. Everybody on the late night talk show monologues making jokes, comedians making jokes, Living Color, Mad TV, everybody making jokes. She didn't do jail time. She got treatment. She was a subculture, a hero, like a cult hero. And all the women were saying good for him. He was cheating. Like, people do cape for monsters. The majority of women in America thought it was funny. Are you telling me I can't say Diddy should get due process, but you can laugh and celebrate? You know what I did before I started typing, Mike?
What?
I said I'm typing nothing.
I ain't typing nothing.
We all know what it is. There's no point to put myself out there to get canceled and chopped up or try to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't want to learn anything, is not open to any new information. So I think a lot of men, the reason why all these single nights, you see, 80%, 90% women and no men are showing up. It's a whole trend now. They're showing all these single events, even free ones, where men aren't showing up. And people like Paul Pierce are saying it's only for old people and poor people even to get married. Most people, these men who are incels, who are literally not even dating, they're not even trying to have sex with women. A lot of these men in college, they're not even thinking about women. And it's these double standards that everybody has let go. She can hit you and stab you. Wait and exhale. She can blow up your car, and everybody in the theater is like, go ahead, Angela. That's a felony. You can't destroy people. In Texas, you could kill people for defacing your property. Somebody try to take your car, open carry state, you can stand your ground and shoot them right in their chest. Now, if somebody in that movie had shot Angela Bassett in the chest, they would have said, oh, this misogyny. These men are crazy. But when she blows up his car, The whole theater. They have wait and exhale parties where they all meet up and watch it happen again and again for 10, 20 years straight. It's a complete double standard. We know can't no man kick in no woman's door and break all her stuff up, even if she's not there. They're going to say, oh my God, that was the most traumatic movie I ever saw. Why did it even come out? So we all get it. Black people understand double standards. Men understand double standards. And at this point, people are just watching the double standards come back to haunt the people. That's all we can do. All we can do is wait till none of y'all can get married and none of y'all got husbands and somebody like Donald Trump is reversing Roe v. Wade. And all we can do is sit back and twiddle our thumbs and wait for you because we're here to talk. We're here to fight with you. We're here to have a conversation. We're here to grow collectively. But if you don't want to acknowledge the fact that it's completely unfair, then the conversation ends. And until it bites you in the butt, we'll just have to wait it out and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, we're gonna have a new day for Dr. Arron Smith. It's gonna be called Relationship Talk with Dr. Arron Smith, and we're gonna have some views and opinions on relationships, heterosexual relationships with Dr. Arron Smith. Doctor, thank you once again for being on the show. Thank you for taking time out. I will definitely have some footage from the gentleman. I don't want to
Ibrahim Traoré, yes.
Ibrahim. I will have some footage of his speeches. I will get that. Also, before we get out of here,
Thursday roundtable next week.
I'll send a link to Jay. I'll send a link.
And Thursday roundtable, we're gonna have
you on.
And we're gonna have you on, and we're gonna do some auditions. We're gonna do some auditions Tuesday and Wednesday, and send some people the link because we're gonna give you a time limit. You're just not gonna be able to sit on here for the whole show. We're gonna give everybody their portion of time, 5 to 10 minutes, and make it happen.
The 3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes. Okay, 3 to 5 minutes.
You're not dealing with seasoned, journalists in most cases. I'm just saying,
And we got the comedy show tomorrow, Sounds of Island. Is where I'm gonna be there. Shout out to my man Kobe Jack, Chanel Renee. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We're gonna have a great time. DJ Alamo on the 1 to 2 Stacey Mitchell Experience. We will be there tomorrow. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness. Never let anyone, anything, or any circumstance take it from you, because God got you. For Michael Sean, Fearless, Dr. Arron Smith, Jay Black, Sexy Mo, C Chung, Lady Q, WokeUpInspired.com. Get your merch. Armani, and my man, the Financial Rebel. We are gone. Gone there. Be safe, y'all.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts.